and flows of angel hair, and ice cream castles in the air, and feather canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun, the rain and snow on everyone. And every time I should have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's clouds' illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave them laughing when you go, but if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds, I've looked at life that way. But now old friends, they're acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed. With everything I could have gained, I've looked at life that way. I've looked at life from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life. I've looked at life from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know.
There are people who can sing, and there are people who can sing. Lord, that boy can sing. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to all of you online this morning. My title this morning is Happy for No Reason. Happy for no reason. Are you happy for no reason? You know, we sing, this joy I have, the world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. Can't take it away. So Rhonda Byrne, the author and producer of the movie The Secret, had just finished 6 very long series for television in Australia. I didn't know she was Australian. She's Australian. When I did my research. She had just completed. And as a result of that, she was pretty burnt out. Her father died, and she was very worried about her mother's level of depression. So in other words, she had a life like a sad country song. You know, have you ever felt your life was like a sad country song? You know, my wife left me, the dog died, and I ran over grandma. Now, I guess this sad song thing's a big deal. Rolling Stone has a top 40 for sad songs. 2 examples I saw was Hank Williams, I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. And Patsy Cline, I Fall to Pieces. I didn't know that was depressing. I love that song. Just fall to pieces. Do you consider times in your life like a sad country song? But we can be happy for no reason. Rhonda was exhausted. She was tired. Have you been there? When you're fried and you just have enough. There are some days on my job, I think if I hear that name Rick one more time, just one more time, no wonder the windows don't open, because I think I would have to take a leap and see if I could, land softly. See if angels come pick me up. Have you been there? There are just times when life feels like a sad country song. But Rhonda's daughter, the word always comes. A word of encouragement always comes, right? That's why we should encourage one another. Her daughter said to her, I think you should read this book, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. Okay? So out of everything in the world she could say, here is what she gives her, The Science of Getting Rich. And so it was written in 1910, and it is still in production to this day. It is the classic text on the law of attraction. It's just the classic text. But for the next 6 weeks, Rhonda only studied this particular text and other books on the issue of law of attraction. And when she was interviewed by Oprah, she said, something inside of me had me turn the pages one by one, and I can still remember my tears hitting the pages. And as her tears hit the pages, the passion within her just continued to grow. She said, I wanted to share all this with the world. I wanted to share it with the world, was her intention. But it wasn't easy. Immediately before it was time to produce the movie, she lost her financing. And the television stations, even the ones that she had worked with, refused to support the show. So what do you do when you feel you're being led and everything just falls apart and your life is like a sad country song? No one would pick up the production. And sometimes life can just be that way. Waiting sometimes is the most painful thing in the world, and it feels like it takes forever. But the joy that we have, the world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. So our spiritual principle says that it is the joy of the Spirit that is our strength. So I ask you this morning, it's time to take a poll. Are you happy? Well, how happy are you? If happiness is on a scale and 0 is unhappy and 10 is happy for no reason, where are you? Who are the 5s? 7s? 9.5s? Any 10s in the room? Any less than 5? We praying for you. Happy all the time, happy for no reason. And spiritually, the term is joy. It's happy for no reason. For us, is joy. What would be your score every day of your life? Joy is this sense of well-being. It's a sense of success. It's a feeling of good fortune, that things are going to work out. They're feelings of happiness, of enjoyment. It transcends any individual circumstance. It's a sense of well-being, that life is just going to work. Now, have you known people who are like that? When you're around them, you just feel good because they just enjoy and have joy in life. I think of Patricia. I told her I was going to say that this morning. I think of Patricia. I know when I get here, there are some of you, when I see you, the smile on your face and the embrace that you share, I see the joy. And I'm so thankful for it. It just picks me up. We like to be around people like that, though, people who exude joy. So I am in the book, Happy for No Reason. It's a good enough title to read it, right? Happy for No Reason by Marcia Shimoff. Now, she's the co-author of Chicken Soup for the Woman's Soul. So that may be what you know her for. So her idea was to interview the top 100 people in the world, the top 100 happy people in the world. And so you might ask, well, how did she find the happiest 100? And she didn't call me. Well, the thing is that she surveyed online. And so that's how she got the information. And so she asked people, what was the most important element in life for you to be happy with no reason? What would your answer be? What do you need to be happy for no reason? If you have joy, you don't need anything, because the joy will carry you through. But recently, according to the Pew Association, happiness is at an all-time low. It is lower than even at the peak of the pandemic. Why? People still remain lonely and isolated. They have poor work-life balance, and finding meaning and purpose in their life is tough. Now, I'm not lonely. I am no role model for work-life balance. I am the role model for how not to live, by the way. So I'll just stick to things like meaning and purpose. Now, if you're a practitioner, you say, well, that's spiritual bypass. But that's just the way it is. I mean, there are things that I'm good at and there are things that I'm not good at. And working is one of those things that I do enjoy, and I really don't have a working day. I enjoy it so much. So happiness, though, happiness comes with happenings. When things happen in our life, that's why we're happy, because things are happening. What do you think is necessary for you to be happy for no reason? Not waiting on anything, not needing more of anything, just being happy for no reason. C.S. Lewis tried to define joy, and he said, whatever joy is, once you get it, you want more. But he also goes on to say that it's one of those things that we don't have the power to give ourselves. We can give ourselves pleasure. I knew that line was going to go something, but that's what he said. But you cannot control the joy, but you can make space in your life and in your consciousness for joy. Happiness comes from inside of us. It's always an inside job. Happenings are the things that make us happy, but joy comes from within. When your life sounds like a sad country song, you need joy to get through it all, because something has to propel us to believe and to continue on. Life with joy, there is nothing like it. And I really wish I could walk every day in being happy for no reason, but I enjoy the periods of when it occurs. I see joy as a characteristic of the divine. It's one of the qualities of the divine: love, light, life, peace, power, abundance, joy are qualities that are identified with divine spirit. And you know, as spirit is, right? I am. So this joy I have, the world didn't give it, and you can't take it away. But do you want more joy in your life? Do you want to be happy for no reason? Many times in my life, I wasn't particularly sure what would make me happy, but I knew I wanted something, not realizing I had everything I needed already. Now, you know what you think you need to be happy. If you feel that you need something to make you happy, that's the definition of attachment. You have attached your happiness to something that has to happen or something that you need. That is delaying your happiness that you can have now or your joy that you can have now. How much do you need? I looked around my house. I have a 3-bedroom house. I have clothes in every closet. Every closet, and I mean packed, and I can wear every piece. Yes, I can. And if books would make me happy, they are in every room. No matter how much I try to get rid of books, they just keep replicating in my house. I don't know where they all come from. And still, I have all this electronic stuff too. So I got happiness covered if it's having things. Because I got things, you got things. But is that the thing that makes you happy? If books could do it, if clothes could do it, if work could do it, I would have it covered. It's just amazing how much stuff we can accumulate though, right? So happiness, according to the author, is on a continuum. Remember we talked about at the bottom, it's unhappy. You're just unhappy. Then there is happy for a bad reason, happy for a good reason, and happy for no reason. Now that happy for a bad reason, I said, well, are you enjoying somebody else's misfortune? What's that about? And it's not that's not what the author means. What the author means is that it is artificial. When you do something to induce, like buying a lot of clothes and a lot of books, when you do things that to try to make yourself happy, that is the bad part, right? But happy for no reason, we call joy. And we are only in control of making room and space for it because it is within us all. But according to the author, there is a set point, that everyone has a happiness set point. So let me draw an analogy for you. Has any one of you gained weight and lost weight? Gained weight and lost weight. Do you always end up back at the same weight? That's a set point. That's a set point. No matter what you do, you kind of end up right back at the same weight again. So happiness has a set point. It is composed of 2 different qualities. 50% of it comes from our genetics, and the other 50% is learned. So if it is learned, let alone our genetics, then we can change our happiness set point. You can be happier. You can also be on the road to experiencing joy. Happy for no reason is our natural state. It is the state of our spirit. Happy has no things that are specific, but it actually can be measured. If you are happy, it can be measured physiologically. We have more activity in our frontal lobe, our heart rates become normal, and rhythms, and we produce more specific kinds of hormones that make us happy. Now, people argue, did the hormones make you happy, or were you happy and had the hormones? What difference does it make? God made it all, okay? It don't make a difference. When we experience joy, we have this physiological change as a result of it. Happiness for no reason can be measured. If you put your head in an MRI, your mind is buzzing at a particular place. Joy is universal. It is mentioned in every historic belief system. First, it is a principle. Principles apply no matter what, and they are unchanging. Historic traditions say, for instance, in Buddhism, it is ceaseless joy. In Christianity, it is the kingdom of heaven. In Judaism, it is Ashri. In Islam, it is Falah. And in Hinduism, it is Ananda. But we have a set point that we can move. And so Marcia describes that moving our set point has to do with like building a house. When you build a house, the most important thing you can do to start is what? Build a strong foundation. So first, she says, take ownership for your happiness. You should be taking notes. Take ownership of your happiness. If you are unhappy, nobody can make you happy. Nobody, and it ain't fair to put that responsibility on anyone else. So you're only setting yourself up for disappointment. You cannot put that in someone else's hands. It won't work. I guarantee you it won't work. So I have to admit, though, even though someone cannot make you happy, being able to share your happiness will move your set point. People move your set point. Being here moves your set point. It makes me happier. It increases my happiness. So we must, most importantly, though, when we have problems in life, is that we must focus on the solution, not the problem. We can't put all our energy in the problem. How much faith does it take to be unforgiving? It takes faith to be unforgiving. We focus on the solution, not the problem. Remember the song says, don't tell God about your problem, tell your problem about God? There's meaning in that. I'm going to do both, though, but I'm going to tell God. But the thing of it all is what is true about the situation. No matter what it is, if it is a condition, it is subject to change. It's only principle that will not change. I always try to remind myself, whatever situation that I'm in, which seems crazy, is to ask myself, where is God in this? And sometimes I have to dig pretty deep. There are just encounters we have in life, and people show up needing love, and I need some love, I guess, and you have to dig deep to find it. We always have to ask ourselves if there's forgiveness needed. Because as I said earlier, forgiveness, being unforgiving, requires a lot of faith. Holding resentment and blame toward anyone will not do anything for you. If you've had a bad experience, you have to take the knowledge from the experience for the rest of your life, but you cannot live in the past, because guess what? No matter how hard you try, you cannot change the past. If you figure out how to do it, please let me know, because I'd love to roll back some time too. We have to make peace with ourselves. That's dealing with our own guilt and shame that we create in our life, that we hold on to, that we need to let go of. And remember, don't believe everything you think. I don't know where those thoughts come from, but I'm telling you, sometimes thoughts just come up and you cannot believe everything you think. You have to ask yourself, is this true? Now, you know how to get over anything, right? It's to practice gratitude and compassion by doing something for someone else. But what we must start out doing in the foundation for this house is setting an intention to have joy in our life. So Rhonda had a reason to have a sad country song. She was burnt out, her father died, her mother was depressed, and right at the point in time when she was ready to produce the movie, she lost her financial backing. But she said there was a fire within her to share the information with the world. Don't miss that line, with the world. So she learned all these lessons from reading these books, and it was important to her to share it with the world. And it was good news to share, right? I mean, the secret was very helpful for a lot of people. And so Rhonda just focused, though, on what the solution was. The solution. Where do I want this to be, and how do I want to feel when it's resolved? The how is not our problem. The how is the problem for the Spirit. We can't figure out how to fix some of the stuff we're in. And have you ever tried to fix it? Helping God out, helping Spirit out, and right, it got you in a better situation than you were in. Not me. She focused on how she wanted to feel and what she wanted to experience. She wanted to be happy for no reason because it wasn't going her way. She didn't want to postpone her happiness, and she didn't need more money. She needed to be happy now. So she didn't wait. She just continued to do the work. And suddenly, and life can have some suddenlies. Right in the middle of your sad country song, life can have a suddenly where spirit just steps in and smacks me upside my head. What happened was there was a company that only produced video for movie trailers. That's how, and they were distributed online, right? But just the trailer, just a short portion. They were looking for a movie to produce to stream. So suddenly, she ended up being the first movie streamed for its release. So others had come out in theaters first and on DVD, but it was the first movie released online. So that meant she was able to share it with the world. That was her intention. But you've got to be happy for no reason, to carry yourself through that. And whatever your intention is, remember Reverend Mignon's statement a couple of weeks ago, if not this, something better. Because that's possible, because despite all the obstacles, the result can be better than we planned. So let this overcoming experience speak to you. Show that there can be a suddenly in your life, and wait for your suddenly. But wait focused on the solution, rejoicing the entire time, and not resenting anything, and making sure there isn't any unforgiveness in your life. You can set your intention to experience joy, at least set your intention to increase your happiness, because you have to deal with the rest of us. And we like you happy. But the joy that we have, the world didn't give us. And the world can't take it away. And whatever you do, don't you give it away. And so it is.